Well, hello there, web developers. Jimmy here. I wanted to talk about Codecademy. It's Codecademy, not Code Academy. I don't know why, but that's what they did. This is a service, a system, a community started around the idea that people should learn how to create code. In our use here, we're not learning how to program so much as learning how HTML can make the browser display things for us, but it's very similar to programming. It is a markup language instead of a programming language, but it still has a lot of kind of analogs. So I thought I might describe it a little bit. So I've already logged in. I've made myself an account, which means it'll save my progress. So when I log back in later on, you can see how far you've come. You can save your work. You can, as in fact, I'm going to expect that when you finish a particular series of steps in Codecademy, that you'll take the code that it allows you to produce, like it helps you make, and I want you to take that code and turn it into an HTML file and then put it up on our server where we have all of our files. So it's pretty helpful. If for some reason you lose that file, you can come back to Codecademy, reclaim the stuff that you've written from inside this web-based editor, and you've got your file again. So it's a strange form, or I guess a kind of indirect form of cloud computing. In fact, the fact that we've got an editor and sort of a preview here running inside the browser is very, very cool. So you'll notice over on the left-hand side there's some text, and as you scroll down to the bottom there'll be some instructions, and if you don't get all the instructions completed correctly, I'll delete some of my code, and you hit the save and submit button. Actually, it worked without that. So let's really mess this up. Let's get rid of everything and then hit, try it again. So I'm going to go why learn HTML as if it were the very first step, and I'm going to try and, well, it seems like it worked without it. So let's try to screw up the second one and save and submit. You'll see what I mean. So there. It's so hard for me to mess up because I am so talented that, okay, maybe not. At any rate, in this second lesson here, you can see I deleted all my code and I hit save and submit, and now I got this box, this red box. Oops, try again. It looks like you didn't do everything you were supposed to do. So whenever that happens, they try to step you through in the instructions on here what you messed up, and there's also a get a hint, and even a form, even though I haven't used that too much. You can also, if for whatever reason they've given you some starter code, you can hit the reset button, which I guess I could have done on that previous assignment. You'll notice there's a little breadcrumb type thing here that shows you where you're going to be going. If you are working your way through and you like skip down to the last step, they'll only give you credit for this particular step. So any of these steps you skipped over, you won't actually have credit for. That won't matter much for the assignments, but most people are interested in getting that little checkbox at the end that says, yes, you completed it. They give you little badges and they keep up with your progress. And it's generally a very cool thing. So I'm going to go back to the page that shows this particular track. There are programming tracks and there's the web track. And you'll notice that I've done all of HTML basics, which is what I'm expecting you to do, and build your own web page. Again, I'm expecting you to do that. And I started on the HTML basics. Notice that there's always a second step, or most of the time there's a second step. So not only are you going to learn some of the theory, but there's a product that they expect you to make, which is one of the things I think is pretty darn cool. You'll notice that there's quite a bit in the web track. I'm not going to use all of this, but we will touch on these things as we go. And it's just a very cool service. I've grown very fond of it. And there's a lot that you can get out of it. Oops, I went to the teach. I wanted to show you that under Learn, not only can you learn HTML and CSS, which we will, there's a lot of programming stuff here that has a web sort of backbone that, you know what, it's just too cool. If you are the kind of person who wants to not just learn HTML but make some of the interactive content your own, there is more to learn here. In my advanced class, I'm going to be teaching PHP, and I'm hoping to use JavaScript in this introductory class too. And we'll see. We'll see if we can get that far. It is a lot of material to fit in here. At any rate, I'm very fond of Codecademy. They don't pay me, just in case you're wondering. It is, however, a growing trend in the UK, for example. Codecademy has become a part of the effort to introduce computer science concepts into every UK school. So you'll see me supporting them because I think what they're doing is great work. So have fun with it. It's a lot of fun and very interactive, and yeah, it makes you more nerdy, which is always good.